Welcome back to Rational Funk. You know, today we're going to discuss a pretty important topic, which is, you know, in the first round of shows where we did 60 shows, we covered a lot of territory. One of the shows that received a lot of nice attention and we felt made an impact was extended techniques in the avant-garde. We were dealing with, we had a studio audience, if you will, of like an after-school kids program where they go and visit like a field trip, and they wanted to come see how a recording studio works and I just happened to be there. It was not set up, but it was not set up ahead of time. That's why it caught me a little off guard. I'm not going to lie. But it was nice to have the kids there asking questions. I was doing some cymbal scrapes and some kind of like, a couple of kind of automated, almost like automated painting, automated drawing, this sort of Tony Oxley, extended techniques here and there. And then I was like, well, you know what? Joe and I maybe thought it would be nice to revisit extended techniques and call the show Extended Techniques. So we're extending extended techniques. Now, sometimes people think that an extended technique means just bring an arsenal of stuff that you've collected that gets auxiliary percussion sounds and those things you break out. Let's say you're going to some liberal arts college on the East Coast. I've seen this a million times where you got that means you're gonna, just show up and improvise because you're learning from the great masters how to improvise. You're at Amherst and you're at Vassar or somewhere and you're like, I'm in the free jazz program. Okay, and that means I bring an arsenal of stuff. So I show up, and you guys are gonna kind of play your way through some standards, okay? Your whole thing is like, we're gonna kind of deconstruct some shit, and we're gonna play some standards. So the kid shows up, he basically is dying to study with Bob Moses or something, and he shows up at NEC, he's at the New England Conservatory, and then he's just like, he's got his first lesson. And he's just like, the guy's like, you got your hi-hats? You got like Milford Graves in there looking at this kid. And he's like this kid's from Connecticut. And he's just like, which tune? Yeah, I'm ready. What do you want to play? Like Miss Jones? And it's just like, okay, we got another liberal arts college free jazz kid on our hands here. Can you play time? Yeah, I can play time. So, okay, because, remember that a lot of that is just like time is so square. So here we go. This is not extended techniques, is basically what I'm trying to say. This is like you're bringing a bunch of gear in and you're being like, these are extended techniques. Here's my ride cymbal. Play a little ride time. No problem, I got it. I got hooked on Beaver Harris and Rashied Ali when I was growing up in New Canaan, or whatever. What's that town in Connecticut? I was growing up there and I got really hooked into Milford Graves. You guys want to play some tunes? Got really good posture. And the whole time it's just like, I'm using some extended techniques. No, that's not what the Joe and I are talking about here. We're not talking about showing up with some gear that is going to do all the work for you. We're talking about coaxing some shit out of a drum kit. Half the time that it's a kit that you wouldn't, let's say you're sitting down and you're at like Dave Lombardo's kit and you're like got to coax some like literally pianissimo sort of orchestral tones out of this thing. Not that Dave doesn't. He's a great genius, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, okay, now we're going to play at a whisper, and it's a cellist, a bass clarinetist, and it's a trio, and you guys are going to deal. And now you're like, okay, we got Dave Lombardo's kit. That's what I'm kind of saying. You don't start the entire situation that far ahead of the game. We're like, okay, my hi-hats are gongs, I've got my bow, and then I've got like some form of testicle shaker. So here we have the idea of we've got to coax some tones out of this drum kit. We got to get a little prayer out of this ancient stick, if you will. You know what I mean? What do we do? What am I talking about? What is Dave talking about? Now, I recommend busting this shit out when you got hired to play on the new John Mayer record. And John's like this, "Hey man, what's up? Seen my watch collection? It's pretty sick." "No, I haven't actually seen it. Can I see it?" "No." "Who is this guy, man?" "Steve Jordan recommended him. His name's Dave King. He's pretty cool, actually. He's into some shit." "Yeah? Is he into laying it down?" "Yeah, I think he can lay it down." I'm being like the producer or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm into that shit. And I tried that, and the fucking producer literally fired me 3 seconds into that exploration of extended techniques. And I've not seen John since. I did. They used to call me Light Fingers. And not because of some of this. I got a pretty decent Timex reissue. That you can get at like Todd Snyder or something for $199. Stole it right out of his little watch case because he switches watches in between tunes. And I snagged that bad boy, and I like it. It makes me feel like I'm a social studies teacher in rural Indiana in 1959. You heard it here on Rational Funk.